to another Looney Tunes commentary. If this is your first time on the channel, consider subscribing as it helps out the channel, and give this video a like if you do like it. So this is a commentary for Porky Pig's Feet, released in 1943. It's the 408th in the series, and it's directed by Frank Tashlin. You can find this on the Looney Tunes Golden Collection Volume 3 DVD set, the Looney Tunes Platinum Collection Volume 3 Blu-ray set, and on the Porky Pig 101 DVD set, all of which has a commentary by film director Joe Dante, which I encourage you to listen to after this one, of course. And with me today is some guy who I think likes Tashlin. I don't know. He's never indicated that before. It's my good friend Austin Kelly. Say hi.
This is the greatest day of my life. No, I'm just kidding. This is a big monument. Tashlin's back, my favorite Warner cartoon director, one of my favorite film directors. You bet I'm going to be on all the Tashlin commentaries from this point on. Get hyped, because this is an amazing cartoon, and so are the ones to follow.
Absolutely. And Blue Genocide is not here today, but he actually did do a commentary on this cartoon, and I'll have a link above somewhere along this commentary if you want to listen to his points of view on this particular short. And just a few quick little tidbits before we get right into it. It's of course the first Tashlin short since 1938. Uses the first Powerhouse song, because I know it was a bit of music was used in Greetings Bait, but its first proper usage of Powerhouse. It's the last black and white Porky, and it's the first and only black and white. Well, I won't spoil it. I won't spoil it just yet.
Oh yeah!
Wow! Look at these backgrounds, animation. This is wow.
It's amazing. Everything works with this thing. Look at that layout. That's gorgeous. And this is a very brief, interesting bit of animation. This shot too by Disney guy Ray Patton, who was a holdover from the McCabe unit. Kind of disappears for a little while after this cartoon and a few early Tashlins, and then only appears on one McKimson, Daffy Doodles, and then leaves Warner Cartoon Studio forever. Just a few interesting things you might want to know. This cartoon was scripted 8 months before its release. Scripted November of 42, released July of 43, and the working title was False Rumors, which probably didn't work out because they wanted Porky's name in the title to hook in audiences, but that's just a theory. Not the first Tashlin-related Warner cartoon. He was waiting for McCabe to leave to be drafted, so Schlesinger just kept him busy by working on the story for Corny Concerto, and he did some amazing, gorgeous, full-color background layouts for that cartoon, which sadly haven't surfaced, but I'm sure they look amazing. So yeah, clearly I do have a lot to say about this thing.
Oh, no, you clearly know nothing at all. But I liked before when you had the animation of Daffy Duck when his beak is right up against this hotel manager's face, about how if you're gonna freeze frame something, definitely do it. You've got some weird drawings in there. Just, we say that about Clampett stuff. I think Tashlin stuff has some great freeze framing stuff. It's incredible.
Oh, of course he does, because he's got Art Davis here. Davis, who is one of the funniest animators of all time. Davis was kind of fired by Tashlin at the Screen Gem studio, where Tashlin was before he came back to Warner's. And then they end up in the same unit together here, Davis and Tashlin, which is kind of weird, and they probably didn't work well together, but clearly Davis does some amazing animation in this cartoon, which I will certainly point out when we get to it. I can spot every animator in this one. I did a breakdown of it. I still have the file, so maybe I'll upload it on the channel just for people who are interested to see who did what. But yeah, great animation here.
Oh, exactly right. Exactly. And this also shows just how professional Tashlin is. I mean, sure, him and Davis may not have gotten along, but they got the job done. But not only that, Tashlin never liked working on Porky. And what's his first cartoon he does when he comes back? Porky. It's like, okay, he just does it, and that's that. And this marks an interesting occasion for me, personally, because this kind of means that I've seen every cartoon on the Porky Pig 101 DVD set. Hooray for me. Hooray for me, because
did you notice
watched a lot of them.
That background was honestly very much so more daring than a black and white Porky Pig cartoon should be. It starts out from the side, and then it slowly pans down, and you see 3/4 of the stairwell, and then you slow down and it pan down, and you see it straight from above. It's so weird, but it's amazing. It just goes to show that Tashlin really went the extra mile in a lot of these cartoons and did crazy, amazing stuff like that he really didn't have to do. But God, it makes the cartoon so much better and enjoyable.
So who's the background artist here for this one?
Dave Hilberman, who did some great stuff on the McCabe cartoons.
Yeah, I thought it was him. I just didn't want to guess.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Oh, look at this. This is definitely freeze frame worthy. You have to study this if you're an animator. Daffy just whacking this guy over with a mallet. I told you I was going to point out Art Davis's animation, and here it is. It's amazing. It works so well with the stylized Tashlin stuff. It's honestly really funny stuff. I wish I could draw like that.
And what interests me as well is, okay, so we've seen all the Tashlin, the original Tashlin stuff, and a lot of it's very rounded. And as what's been pointed out a lot, his stuff in the 40s seemed to get a lot more angular, and it's just an interesting how he went from one style to another. Oh, here's a Tashlin joke, of course. I mean, you gotta have.
Oh God, he loves. If you look at his live action films, he always shows off like some lady's legs. It's so weird. I don't know why, but it's he's definitely
he's got his Tashlinism. It's a good old Tashlinism, but I'd say it's a bit of harmless fun. Like, he has to stop and look at it again, of course. It's just absolutely ridiculous. But I love this short. I even showed this to my kids and that. And if you want proof, kids, at least normal kids anyway, and I'm assuming my kids are normal, of course, but they don't care that it's black and white. I showed this to them. They didn't ask, why is it black and white? Why is it square? They were just laughing. They thought this was one of the funniest things they've ever seen. And
your kids,
and even the ending. And even the cameo at the end, they were laughing a lot, which I may as well say now, because most people would have watched this one a lot, because it is in the public domain. But this is the first and only black and white Bugs Bunny appearance. And I believe Tashlin did only one Bugs Bunny?
2.
After this?
3 if you count this. Unruly hair remover, and this one. Just because he lost his, seniority, you kind of had to build your way up from the Porky and Daffy's, and then you finally do Bugs, and then he leaves the studio, which is obviously what happened there, and what happened with Artie Davis later on. He only does one Bugs, and it's like one of the last ones he does. Because it's a shame, because Unruly Hair is a classic, so is Hair Remover, and so is Bowery Bugs, which is that Art Davis cartoon I was talking about. It's just such a shame that they didn't get to work with the character more often, because they're really great.
Yeah, and I can't wait to get to the Art Davis stuff, because he is one of my favorite directors. I think he's just very much underrated, and well, there's Bugs there, but you know what? There's lots more facts. If your game, Austin, we can continue talking about Tashlin.
Yeah,
shall we?
Can sit down. I've got much to say, anyways.
Well, let's keep going. Let's keep going.
There was an interesting color thing. The Looney Tunes font was brighter than usual. I think they might have used the color version of that cell that they probably repainted and redid for the colored Looney Tunes that they started to make. I don't know. It's just a theory, but that looked a little weird.
And we're actually getting close to the end of another era with Looney Tunes, and because Tashlin, I believe, directs also the last black and white Looney Tunes cartoon ever.
Puss in Booty, that's a classic too. I'm excited for that one.
Yeah, I can't wait to watch that. So pretty much, okay. So Tashlin, he leaves Warner's or is fired, and he then does all these other jobs in between, and then eventually winds his way back to Warner Brothers. And a lot of people might be wondering, and this was answered in the previous video, so this is more for the newbies, why would Leon want to hire Tashlin again when they had issues prior?
Well, I think Tashlin actually said this himself. Leon only cared about money, and if he could get a replacement who he knew made good and funny cartoons, he would absolutely do that. all personal issues and preferences aside, he would absolutely take up Tashlin again and again, as he did, just for the money that he had in it. But yeah.
Yeah, and I think it was just a whole professionalism thing. It's like, why hold grudges? Just get the job done. At least
Yeah.
that's what I think. So okay, so he's let go from Warner Brothers in '38. So he goes to Disney, I believe. Is that
I'm not sure of the exact chronology there, but at some points when he was not at the Warner Studio, in between 38-ish and 42, he goes to Disney at some point, leaves, and then goes to Screen Gems, where he's just automatically put as the head of the studio. He didn't really do much special work. He did some stuff on Mickey and the Beanstalk, the Peter and the Wolf stuff at Disney. Screen Gems, he created the Fox and Crow, and he did their first cartoon in the early 40s, which is honestly one of the only Screen Gems cartoons I would tell people to watch. Very much so reminiscent of his later Warner stuff, like Porky Pig's Feet. It's even got like a similar shot, where the manager's falling down the stairs, and you see like his shadow or his in the reflection of Daffy's eye. You see that same kind of shot in that first Fox and Crow. But he does some interesting stuff, and then he comes back in 42 when McCabe leaves. Like I said, he did some work as storyman on Corny Concerto, which of course is another classic cartoon, not entirely Tashlin, but it's a Clampett one. It's a very funny cartoon as well. And then he takes over the unit, and he does Porky Pig's Feet. All kinds of great goodies that we're gonna dive into soon that I'm very excited for.
But it doesn't really stay long, does he? It's just
No, I don't. Again, I don't know the exact dates, but it's somewhere around late summer, early fall 42 to late summer, early fall of 44. At which point, Bob McKimson takes over his unit, which he was given the chance to direct a few times before, and he was kind of eager to take over that unit. Although arguably he was pretty weak as a director overall later on, especially. But no, Tashlin does some great stuff. Gotta love Porky Pig's Feet. I Got Plenty of Mutton. Puss in Booty, like we said. His Daffy's, playing Daffy's a riot. The few Bugs cartoons he's about to do, they're all amazing. I think they're all great, definitely worth watch. And we are gonna watch those soon, coming up.
Oh yeah. Absolutely. So just to sum it up, because we will, once all the Tashlins are done, we will do a sit down similar to what we did with Norman McCabe and all the other directors, and we'll go through each and every Tashlin short. We might even get an extra person. We might just have a bit of a Tashlin party, which is, I know, your kind of party, Austin.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It ain't no party like a Tashlin party. Because the Tashlin party don't stop until he goes and directs live action movies, of course. But, that's how it goes. But, look, thanks very much for listening, guys. And until next time, take care.
I'll see you soon. Very soon, in fact.
Don't work, do they?